A lot of 90s kids talk about a show called Drake and Josh, and it is still a really good show. I did rewatch it. Granted, I don't think I would have gotten as into it coming into it as an adult, but I would have recognized the performances. And it has your typical kid show overacting and bizarre random humor, which again, I liked a lot more as a kid, tended to grow out of. But at its core, it's a good premise. The acting's very good. The comic timing's quite good. The situations are a ton of fun. It's got a lot of wackiness and imagination. And I would say of the teen and tween shows I remember and what I've checked out recently, this is the best one that I've seen. Drake and Josh grew up together. They worked on the Amanda Show together. So they came into Drake and Josh already knowing how to work off each other. And they're stepbrothers. It's an odd couple situation. Drake's the cool guy, and Josh is the studious nerd. They work off each other so they feel like they're brothers. And they have a younger sister who constantly pulls pranks on them and gets away with it. Megan, played by Miranda Cosgrove, who's also very good. I like her. I like her as an actress. Everything I've seen her, and she's always been very charming, and here it's no exception. Regardless of how you feel of the character who never gets punished, it gets to the point where you think, geez, can you throw the guys a bone once? But she has a ton of charm. She does have her heartwarming moments too, which is really, really nice to see. She feels pretty fleshed out, even if she gets on her brother's nerves and tortures them. But anyways, I wanted to talk about a very specific episode. It's called Josh is Done. So for the most part in the show, Drake is the cool guy who gets into schemes, and Josh is usually there to pick up the pieces, take the fall. Josh tends to get abused by Drake a lot. And this is an episode where Josh is pushed to his limit and says, "No more, I am done with you." Drake insists that Josh needs him, but it turns out when Josh stands up for himself and cuts Drake out of his life, it improves, whereas Drake's without Josh gets worse. And then Drake has to finally admit, hey, that he was wrong, and he needs Josh a lot more than Josh needs him. And this is a later episode, so you can imply that he's gonna get better. He learned his lesson. And ultimately, Josh does forgive him, of course. I really, really like this episode. It's one of the highest rated, if not the highest rated in the series, and I completely get why. Even rewatching it, I don't think I've seen anything like it, because what I like so much about this episode is that when somebody is treating you badly, even if it's family, stand up for yourself and don't take that. I like that. I really like that. A simple "I'm sorry" from Drake is not good enough. Josh doesn't accept bribes. Because I've seen other shows where, a character screws up and just buys the person he or she hurt something, usually he to a she, and that makes it all better. But here, "I'm sorry" and a gift does not cut it. It's one of the first things Drake tries. And Josh doesn't back down to that. I really, really like how Josh finally stands up for himself and doesn't back down. And finally, Josh isn't the one who has to change. Drake is. Drake's the one who is held accountable for his actions, and he's the one who has to admit he's wrong, and he's the one who has to do better. And that's fantastic. It's really refreshing to see, because I've seen this story done quite a few times. Usually a gift solves everything, or a simple "I'm sorry, I've done wrong" does better. But no, it's implied that Drake's got to have to step up in the future. They don't explicitly say in the episode. I think it would have been a bit stronger have they acknowledged that he has to do better, and he will. But Drake's apology scene, the genuine one at the end, where he acknowledges that he needs Josh in his life way more than Josh needs him, is truly heartfelt. It's really, really good acting. And you buy that. It's definitely implied in the performance that Drake is going to do better and he's going to appreciate Josh because he's not going to take it anymore. I love that. I like that. I really, really like that, especially because I've also seen in so many shows the excuses, oh, they're family, and because they're family, they get a pass, and we're going to be together no matter what. No, this show says no, to hell with that. Even if it's family, if someone's treating you badly, you stand up for yourself, and you don't have to take it, and you shouldn't have to take it unless somebody's willing to do better and make the effort in that relationship. Relationships are two-way streets, and this show really shows that Drake and Josh really do feel like they're brothers. They do feel like they love each other, and yet they do have their limits. I really, really like this episode for that. And even nowadays I'm seeing more of this stuff, but I don't quite see it in kid shows the way it was done here. So probably my favorite episode of this show, because I've dealt with that before too. Going through that a little bit right now. Is learning when to call it quits on a relationship. Even if you've known that person for a long time, even if they're family, at some point, for people who continue to treat you badly, sometimes you just gotta cut them out and your life will improve. And and sometimes it gets better, but sometimes it doesn't. This is obviously a very heartfelt example of, step up and appreciate the people in your life. Don't take people for granted. There's a good message in there too for people like Drake not to take advantage of people. So there's actually, I focused on Josh's point of view, but now that I think about it, stand up for yourself when you're being treated badly. Even if it's family, even if it's a close friend, set those boundaries. And similarly, don't take advantage of your loved ones. Great episode. Feel the chemistry. Good writing. Good Lord, why is Dan Schneider a creep? But it really was a good show. The best teen show I've ever seen, Drake and Josh.